Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Morgan. So I didn't upload last week, so I just wanted to take a week off because I just wasn't really feeling up to it. I didn't want to film anything and for it to be really bad just because I'm not feeling, just because like I wasn't feeling it and I wasn't in the mood. So I'm back again today with a kind of like another TikTok trend video. So I'm going to be doing one half of my makeup the way that I would do it like today, and then one half the way I would do it when I first started wearing makeup. Before I get started, if you want to give my Instagrams and Twitter and TikTok and everything a follow, I'll link all down below. I'd really appreciate it and really help build up my following and stuff on those apps. I have some new looks on my Instagram that won't be on YouTube, so if you want to see them, they'll all be on my makeup Instagram. If you can like this video and subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate that as well. But yeah, I'm just gonna get started. So when I first started wearing makeup, I was about 14, 15, and it was kind of like the whole Tumblr like grunge thing, like the indie like Tumblr kids with the like purple lipstick and everything like that, a really thick eyeliner. That's when I started wearing makeup. So that's how, and I was always on Tumblr all the time with my like cool indie posts and everything. No, so obviously today if I was doing my makeup I'd start with primer, so I'm going to go with my E.l.f. Putty primer, and I'm just going to prime one half of my face. I'm just going to prime here. Also, not everyone uses primer still. I just use it because I have like some dry patches on my skin and it just helps my makeup sit better, I find. But back when I first started wearing makeup, I wouldn't wear primer. I don't think primer's really that big of a thing in 2014. So I would just put on any moisturiser. So I'm going to be using this T-Zone one. Already I think you can kind of see one side of my face just looks way more ready for makeup. Like the pores on this one don't really seem to be there, whereas all my texture now is still there. So the foundation I used to use when I was younger as well was like a Rimmel one. I can't remember the actual name of it, but if I find out I'll like put it somewhere in the video just so you know. It had like a blue cap. The reason I wore it is because like all the like I used to watch Tanya Bar religiously and she wore it all the time, so I bought it. I am gonna go in with, for my now side, this Ordinary Coverage Foundation. To apply it, use a foundation brush. So I'm just trying to put this over half my face. Because I don't have a foundation to replace the one I used to use, I'm just going to go in with the Ordinary's light coverage one. I don't remember the foundation I used to use being like so full coverage, so I'm just going to squeeze some onto my finger. Oh god, it went everywhere. And just rub it in. It's actually everywhere. It's all in my hair. I've seen quite a few people start to like blend their foundation with their fingers now, but I just can't bring myself to do it because I don't know, I feel like you just end up rubbing it all off and it always looks really patchy. So I'm going to go on with my concealer now. I'm just going to use the same concealer for both sides, but I just do it a bit differently now. So for my, like how I do my makeup now, I do some here, like on the inner and outer corner of my eyes, some just on my forehead, my nose, on my chin, all just to kind of lift my face. And now just blend that in. And I use a colour that's a few shades lighter than my actual skin tone. When I was growing up, I would put loads here, like that, and nowhere else. So I wouldn't lift anywhere else on my face. So the only place like getting like highlighted was this bit, which would like bring my face down. So for powder, I use loose powders now, and I use translucent powders because I find it really hard to find powder light enough for my face anyway. So what I do now is I press some under my eyes and then swipe it away, and I just put powder anywhere that I've put some concealer. Just to set the concealer. What I used to do was use pressed powders, but I don't have any because I don't use them anymore. So I'm gonna, because I use pressed powders, they were always like had like some sort of like shade. So I'm gonna go with this Fit Me one, which is Fair Light, and just press it on with a sponge or something. So I've got it on my dry sponge, and I'm just gonna press that in and just move it. So see how already that's not the right colour for me, it's far too dark, and it's just made my under eyes look way darker than they should. So I'm gonna go with my eyebrows now. So what I like to do for my eyebrows now is put in a brow gel first. So I'm just gonna go with this Morphe one. So I like to use a clear brow gel just to brush, or soap brows just to brush all my hairs up, especially because I'm trying to grow my eyebrows out. So this just makes, like, helps them keep their shape a bit better. And then I like to let that dry. While I'm letting that dry, I'll just do my other one. So what I used to do with my eyebrows was any old coloured eyebrow gel. So it was usually like a cheap one from Primark or something, but I have the Gimme Brow from Benefit. I would just, which is actually really dry, and I don't know how well it's going to do. I would just do this with no real purpose. This is so dry, I need to throw this out. And just do that. So they don't even look filled in, they just look messy. I've always had really bad eyebrows. Like, they've always just never been a nice shape, and I hate getting them done. I hate it. I think it's sore. And I do it myself sometimes, but I'm trying not to. I'm trying to grow them out, so I'm just... But they grow in so horribly. Yeah, so this is what I used to do. And that was it. Nothing else. So because this is dried, I'm going to go with my Morphe brow pencil. And for like a kind of everyday look, I don't want to fill them in too much, so I like to just go in with my brow pencil and just fill in where my eyebrows are maybe a bit more sparse. And I like to define this bit. I like my eyebrows to be quite bushy. I think it suits my face. The other thing that I do now that I never used to do is I carve out my eyebrows to make them look nicer. So I go in with concealer and just shape them. Just like that, just so they look a lot neater than before. I'm going to stay onto my face and I'm going to go in with bronzer. Nowadays, so I'm going to go with my Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. And what I do nowadays is I pack some on my brush and I keep the brush really high up on my face and bring it over my cheekbones. Like that, giving myself a really warm effect. It makes my cheekbones look a lot more defined and a lot higher up. And then I bring some of that down to my jaw and my chin. Some on my forehead and on my nose. And it just makes my face look a lot more lifted. It makes my cheekbones look a lot nicer. So I've got quite a square face, so I want my cheekbones to look higher to make my face look a bit longer. So what I would do on when I was younger, is I would put it directly under my cheekbone and bring it out quite far. Like that. Which, it doesn't look bad, but I think it makes my face look chubby, and I have a chubby face anyway, so it doesn't hide the chubbiness. So I would do that. And I would do the whole 3 thing that they used to tell you. So I'd have a lot here, and then up here as well. I'd try and do the 3s that we were always told to do. So I'd have the really dark part here, which would bring my temple in when it didn't need to be in. And I would put way too much on my jawline, like that. So obviously this side is a lot more lifted, so it's a lot more lifted, it just looks a lot more natural, and it just looks a lot more, it looks a lot prettier for my face shape, because I have a chubby face and you want to I want to hide it. On this side, it doesn't look bad, it just is giving me a weird shape. So although it has made this bit maybe look a bit more out, it's not hid my chubbiness. I still think my face looks really chubby on this side, and it looks a lot lower down. The contour brings my face down a lot further, and then I don't know why this was there, but it always was. The one thing I haven't changed, I still don't know how to do a nose contour, but I at least put bronzer on my nose to kind of do a makeshift one. Back then I couldn't do anything, I didn't know. Anytime I tried to do it, it made me look like I'd just 2 brown lines, it was horrible. For the next one, I'm going to go with blush. So for my new side, how I do my makeup now, I'm going to go with one of my favourite blushes. So this is Cherub by Vieve. Just a really nice pink. I think it's so pretty. So I'm going to get some of that on my brush and just keep it really high up on my cheeks. Just like that. Just blend it with my contour or my bronzer brush. So it makes the apples on my cheek, or my cheekbones, look a lot higher up. It makes them look like they come out a bit more. It just looks a lot nicer. I'm going to put a tiny bit on this side of my nose, and that's it. I don't wear any more blush. I don't like it all around my face or anything. I think it makes me look stupid, but it just makes me look a lot more cute, and it gives my face colour, which makes me look a lot more natural. So already, but even the addition of blush has made my face, the addition of blush has already pulled my face up even more and made this look a lot more down. So the next thing is highlighter. So I'm going to go with my Ofra and Nikkie Tutorials collab in Glazed Donut. It's just this one here. On my new side, I still wear a lot of highlighter. I like it. I think it looks nice. But I like to focus it here, where the highest point of my cheekbone is, and blend out from there. But just to make sure that anywhere the light is, it hits the highlight, I'm going to put a little bit here, some on my chin, some at this point of my nose and the tip, and a little on my forehead. And that's it. That's still a lot of highlight, and a lot more than people kind of use nowadays, but I like it. So for this side, I'm gonna put loads on really high up here around my temples. And then I'm gonna put loads on my forehead, but only the very center. I'm gonna put a lot here, going up, and then a lot on my chin. So although I'm wearing way more highlighter on this side, I think it, like where I've placed it on my cheeks on this side is a lot better for my face shape, whereas it's hard to hit it. If I'd like to hit it, it only catches here, and then here just looks like I've put white powder, whereas this, anywhere I look, it's quite clearly a highlight, and it gives me that wet look effect, like my skin, that wet look effect, which I want my highlighter to do. So I'm going to move on to eyeliner, so I'm going to zoom you in. So for this side, I would so I'm going to go with eyeliner. So for my eyeliner, I'm going in with the KVD Beauty Tattoo Liner, which is the first kind of high-end like eyeliner I ever bought. So for this eye, I've just done a normal wing. So I've just drew the line and connected it at my lash line, filled it in, and then I'm just bringing it like that so it blends into my lash line like that. Keeps the rest of this, like the rest of my lash line, clear. It doesn't look too clunky and it doesn't make my eyes look small. And then I like to just make my eye look a lot longer, a lot nicer. So say that makes my eye up like that, the eyeliner going up looks a lot better, and my eye, like there's not too much going on. I'm not covering my entire eyelid with a wing, but what I would do here would be a really exaggerated wing like that. So I would outline it like that. And fill it all in, and then I would maybe make it a bit bigger. If I needed to, I would like try and clean it up, but that I wasn't very good at that, and I still am to this day. But yes, I would have a big wing like that. That is both eyes for kind of every day. Go and put on some mascara, and I'm going to put lashes on this eye. I'm not going to put any on this eye because I didn't know how to put on false lashes until I was about 18 or 17, so I'm only going to put them on this eye. So I've put on lashes on this eye. I would normally, with this type of look, put on a half lash, but I couldn't find any and I didn't want to cut another one. So I have put on a full lash, but even then, I just think, even with a full lash, this looks really, well, obviously the lash makes it look less natural, but it just looks really nice and pulled up, and I just think it makes my eye shape look a lot nicer. I feel like this, like I actually, to be fair, having done it now, I quite like it. Like I could see myself wearing eyeliner like this again. I haven't done this in so long, and I quite like it. I think if I could define it more, maybe, don't know, like make it like do it with a really nice like blended black on the bottom. I think I can make a really nice like going out look. But I haven't worn eyeliner like this in so long. I never really do it anymore. But I'm going to move on to the last part, which is lips. I do get lip fillers. I don't always overline my lips, but I like to because I like to control the shape of my lips now because I know what shape suits my face. So I'm just going to So I'm just using the Vieve Modern Lip Definer, and this is the shade Bark. So I've just overlined my cupid's bow a bit. Normally I would like circle it, but I can't really do that right now. So, but I like to use quite dark lip liners, just like that, and blend it in a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with my Vieve lipstick in the shade Treasure. So I still really like dark lips, like darker lips, but it's more of a dark nude that I like more of a dark nude now than anything else. So I don't have like any kind of shades that I would have worn when I was younger. I think this is the darkest shade I have, and this is Lolita. I think from KVD Beauty. I wouldn't overline my lips or anything. I wouldn't define my lips. I just do that and leave them their normal shape. I have always used setting spray. I don't know why that's the thing that I've always done. I have always used setting spray. But what I used to do if I didn't have setting spray, I would choose one of these as setting spray. I don't know why, I just assumed it done the same thing. I don't think it does, but I'm just gonna... For my now side, I'm gonna go in with my all-nighter setting spray, which is the only setting spray I'll use. I haven't used another, I think, in like 3 years. So I'm just gonna... on this side. But yeah, that is the finished look. Definitely this side is also a lot more put together. It looks a lot nicer. The eyelashes, obviously, because of how thick the liner is on this side, you can't even see I've got eyelashes, never mind. I've put mascara on them. You can't see it, but it's there. Like, at least with this, even without lashes, if I just want to put on some mascara and go, the liner doesn't cover any of it and it still looks really nice. My face just looks a lot more lifted and a lot less chubby anyway. And then this one, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look bad though. The lips are fine. They could be better. Like, obviously, because I've not lined them or anything, it's gonna bleed around this area and it's just gonna look quite messy. My eyebrows are just messy because I didn't know how to do them. It took me years to figure out how to fill my eyebrows and them not be ugly. Yeah, I mean, both sides are good. However you do your makeup is fine. This is just what works for me now and what I'd done when I was younger. And my mum doesn't wear makeup, so I learned makeup kind of all by myself and all on YouTube as well. Specifically, when I was like doing this type of makeup, tiny bar, and then as I got like 16, 17, I would watch Nikkie tutorials and I managed to just get better, and it all took practice. It was thingy, like it happened in the space of, I think I didn't start doing eyeshadow until I was about 17, 18, and that's because I was going on nights out at that point, so I was like, oh, I better do my makeup properly, and I just started trying out new things, and I've gotten to the point where I can do most makeup looks and do them like quite well, considering I've never had any training. I only started wearing makeup about 15, 16. I didn't start doing eyeshadow until I was 17, 18, I'm only 22 now, so it's just been years of practice. I don't know, I'm quite proud of like the improvement now that I've like seen it together. Just look a lot nicer. This looks just a lot better. It suits my face shape better. I've learned where to place things to make me look nicer and make my skin look better. I've learned what type of skin I have and things, but I really enjoyed this video. I really like seeing the difference. It's quite funny. It's quite funny just to see like where you started. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it to the end, I really appreciate it. If you could like and leave a comment or subscribe, anything, that would mean the world to me. Again, all my social medias like Instagram, TikTok and Twitter is all linked down below if you'd like to give any of them a follow. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you next week. Bye!